Congratulations, class of 2023. You know, over the course of high school, I've accumulated quite a few stories.
Is your graduation speech the intro to the video?
Yeah.
That's kinda lame.
Well, it was either I make an animated intro like this, or it just starts with Eddie saying something stupid.
Okay, well, Eddie told me he came prepared, so I don't know what you're talking about.
What's this for again? Are you making like a movie, or are you making
It's his
like
YouTube channel.
Oh,
Do you not know why you're
you
here?
didn't even know.
Who had a homecoming date here freshman year? That's so sad. Me, I'm sorry.
I almost had a homecoming date freshman year. Mac's girlfriend, Melia, she's like, hey, this girl I think likes you. The name will be,
Helen.
So Helen pulled me aside. I was talking to Brian Zeman, I remember this. You can leave him in, he's cool.
Yeah. Shout out Zeman.
Yeah, shout out Zeman, dude. Yeah, so you don't have a homecoming date, right? And I'm like, no. And she's like, well, would you want to go with me? I was just like, I swear to God, it was 10 seconds.
Yeah.
The first thing I said was, I would. And then she was like, oh, great. And then walks away.
Oh, no.
I don't think there's anything I could do except bail, like, 2 weeks later.
I have a story from a trip. Yusra, can I tell the story?
This is the best high school story there is.
School's music trip. We went to Europe for 10 days. Yusra is my roommate. Yusra starts laughing, and I go, what? And then she starts, like, hysterically laughing. And I go, Yusra, like, what's up? And she goes, I have something to tell you, but it's kind of embarrassing. What is it? I peed. I said a little, and she goes, a lot. And then oh my, it was past midnight. I was like, oh, holy we took our pants, first of all, threw them out the balcony, and they just were like out.
You threw them off the balcony.
This is still in Vienna.
I go to the lobby, and I'm talking to this guy, like, asking for, like, new bedding. I brought Yusra the bedding. I'm like, I have to do something. I text Adler and Jack. Something happened. There's, like, a bunch of crying.
I was so scared. I was actually terrified that, like, something horrible had happened. So I go and open the door, and Kira just walks in and, like, collapses to the ground. Just goes, Yusra peed, and I fell to the ground. It was just too much. Oh, freshman year, I got asked out by.
Oh,
Damn,
and then
bro.
you said you had like a funeral to go to, and then you showed up anyways. And then she saw you.
Which wasn't fully a lie, because it was the next day.
So it was fully a lie.
It was a lie. Yeah.
Because it wasn't that day.
Remember when James was trying to jump off the boat? I played like
Really funny.
3 hours of Super Monkey Ball with that kid on the flight home. We were playing Super Monkey Ball like dog fight or something, and he's like, this is the most fun I've ever had. And I'm like, what is this? Like, playing Super Monkey Ball with me? But okay.
I miss James.
No, I don't miss that particular moment, but I think it was awesome.
I think the story is just like a good end of summer story. The trip we went on.
It was the
Right.
day Mac left for college.
Yeah, I was there at the start. I couldn't go on the adventure. I had to go on an adventure of my own.
Yeah.
Yes, kill yourself.
That reminds me of that f***ing, like, Strange World clip. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
That's what that
We live in a pretty strange world ourselves.
Yeah, it is just... So, along the adventure, we stopped at Chipotle.
So we were just sitting there. I was facing Target. No one's gonna know what that is, but I was like, the Chipotle was here.
Target.
And basically, I was just perpendicular. I was perpendicular to the Chipotle, right?
Pause. What the f*** do you mean no one's gonna know what Target is?
What the?
Who is that?
First semester senior year, I was placed in like a sophomore girls' health class because my schedule was messed up. We had a unit where we had to create an exercise plan and like the rest of the class would participate in it. So I chose dancing. I was scrolling through Just Dance and this one came up and it was called Sonic Just Dance. I was like, okay. And I put it in without watching it. It looks like a dance video, like Sonic's dancing, but then like he starts like doing like all these break dances and like spinning on his head and like my like teacher's just standing there like and I'm like, oh, this is fine, like he's dancing at least, like it's okay. But then like all of a sudden you see on the screen it switches to Shadow the Hedgehog and he has a gun on the screen that he's supposed to the music kind of like changes and it's changing, it's shooting at the screen and like boom boom boom, like and all these girls, like none of them thought it was funny. Like I thought this was hilarious and I did this to myself on accident. So Shadow was like shooting at the screen and then it pans to Eggman. Shadow and Sonic like throw like cars at Eggman's army and it blows up. And then like so much going on.
We have to talk about your suits, bro, to all your school dances.
Like the start of senior year, I'm like, it would be really funny if I just like wore something absurd. So then I like saw like a bright pink suit and I'm like, that's so worth it. So I bought it and didn't let Rachel know that that's what I was wearing until I showed up with it. And I'm like, well, that was funny. I did it again. I got this tinfoil gold suit that I wore.
Do you have any of them with you?
I do. I have the pink suit and I have the sequin one that I wore to prom.
Can you put on the sequin one?
Bro, the sequin one.
From like an outsider's point of view, the big thing was always, what is Gregor gonna wear?
It was the talk of the town.
Especially when Gregor would go with some of my friends, the friend would be like, oh my god, like what is it? What is he gonna wear?
I got the suit. Yo, I got a solo picture of my gold suit in the yearbook.
Oh, really? So at prom, I was having such a fun time, but I was always thinking about I'm not having as much fun as Gregor. And then all of a sudden, I see his sequin vest sitting on a chair. So I put it on, and all of a sudden, I feel like I'm Gregor, which is a great feeling.
I remember later in the night you stole that, and I just saw him like looking around for it, like, and he looked so confused. He was like,
Yeah,
I knew you had it. I just like didn't know where you were, which was surprising. I was like,
yeah.
he's in a sequence. How can I not see him?
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
You were there, Luke. You were there, Gregor.
I was
We
there?
had summer school,
Oh.
and I was running the lane. I go upstairs. Well, I guess it wasn't stairs because I didn't have to take the stairs because I had an elevator pass.
Wait, you're saying you had an elevator pass?
I had an elevator pass. I go into the class. It was on the 3rd floor, so it was a big deal that I had an elevator pass.
Do you guys think she had an elevator pass?
No, I don't think so. I don't know.
No.
How else did she get up to the floor, though? She didn't take the stairs.
You sure? Wait, you sure? Did you? You had an elevator pass?
I had an elevator pass. Then the fire alarm starts going off. Oh no, my mom's pinging my phone.
There's also a funny story about Yusra when we were on the way back from the outdoor entrance. We get on the bus and I'm like, Yusra, what's that? And she's like, oh, it's a bird egg I found on the ground.
I found it.
Kira found it.
She just like had an egg, and no one knew like what was gonna come out of it. What like it was
It was a
a
robin's egg.
mystery. Okay, so Kira knew what apparently. Kira's the egg spurt.
Never mind.
Isn't it?
Next story, I guess.
Isn't it egg?
Jeez.
Before we talk about the egg, the fire alarm
It's like this close. We're this close to the end of the egg story. Let's just wrap it up.
It was banging on my head so bad. And then all of a sudden, I see the couple that was bleeding the entire summer. The guy grabbed the
Wait, what's happening?
How did we get here?
Can we read a couple steps?
What couple?
Did you say they were breeding all summer? Did I hear you correctly?
Do you remember the time running around the Radisson Hotel in Duluth?
That was the day I had coffee for the first time. I had coffee, and I was like... That was kinda really good. We went to Duluth, Minnesota for a film thing, and then when night came around, I couldn't stop moving. Sheila was right next to me, and I was like, let's race, let's just see how far I can run. So we start running, I'm winning, and I run past you, Janelle, and I'm like, wait a second, is this a circle? So I just keep running for like 4 laps. As I'm running, the door opens, and it's one of our teachers. I try to explain myself, but I'm running, so I just go like, and I run into the room and I slam the door. So like junior year, there's this one guy who I've never seen before, but turns out he came here from Japan, and that guy ended up being known as Jackie G.
At the end of this summer, Jackie G unfortunately had to go home back to Japan. We had like this last like party at the end of the summer, and he's saying goodbye to all these people. Jackie G hugs this girl, and he's about to walk away from her, and he turns back around and he says, "You are so hot." And then he walks out and leaves the party. That was just the note he wanted to end on.
One of the first times I met Mac, I was like, Luke, like, let's go somewhere, let's do something.
Do something awesome.
Mac goes like, I hear there's this rager happening in the middle of the
No.
Cheeser fan?
Yeah, this was the Cheezer album release.
You were there?
Kinda. Y'all let Janelle explain.
On the way over, we're driving, we're listening to Mario, Do You Ever Wonder?
Do you ever wonder?
Wow, this is like what? Yeah, no, like Like, album release, wow.
How did Mac even find out about it?
Hearing Max say "trust me" is the scariest thing ever.
We were walking through the woods, like whatever, it's a little scary. We see the barn in the distance, and we just see like this circle of people in kind of like a cultish manner, like running around. We were so not like, why are we here?
I remember Mac was just like, guys, we should like scream really loud and run away.
That's exactly what we did, because all three of us were too scared to go say hi, even though like we definitely could have. So
I would have been fine.
yeah, what?
We did one axe. You remember that?
We need to talk about that. I get a call from Janelle saying, hey, come be in a play. Mac's gonna do it. And then I'm like, okay, I'm in.
There's a point where we get scared and the lights go out. I think I was just more trying to mess with Luke. I remember saying that to the director, how about when the lights turn off, when they come back on, me and Luke are like hugging.
Yeah, I thought you were joking about that too, but then the director was like, oh, that's a great idea.
I was like, okay.
Okay, I guess.
But I think that was the biggest laugh.
Because we were the last play, so it got to the point where the audience would just laugh at whatever the was on the stage.
Yeah, it
so
didn't matter.
Yeah, that was pretty great.
Yeah, you're not very good at this.